Hello, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So, Graham Potter, Premier League manager once again. Does it feel good to have that title again?
I wouldn't say good. Of course, you're always proud of what you've done and proud of the fact that you can get to a place where there's only 20 people in the world that can be a Premier League manager. And the fact there's only a couple of English guys as well, it just shows how hard it is. That's the reality.
So for you, nearly 2 years out in the end, did you ever expect to be out for that long?
I didn't have any plan, to be honest. When I first left Chelsea, I knew that I needed some time to wait for the right opportunity. It's not easy to find the right opportunity because there's not many of them. I'd had a really positive experience at Brighton and not so one at Chelsea. So you're trying to find, okay, which is the next step? Yeah. And there's quite a few opportunities abroad, but I just felt that I still had some work to do in the Premier League. At the end of the day, it's a destination, I think, for most coaches in the world. So while you think you've got an opportunity to work there, I think, I just decided that I'd like to, try to have that chance. It was tough at times because you want to work, and I'd gone through all my reflection, and I'd gone through all that pain of dealing with, losing your job and all that stuff. So then you want to go out and work, but obviously you've got to be patient.
What did you get up to?
A bit of everything, really. I mean, it was so nice to just be able to go on holidays with the family. I learned to ski, so that was something I did because I could go away with the kids at February. And
any good?
I can get down safely-ish. I wouldn't say I'm very good, but that was fun. And then you start to, again, like I said, reflect on the journey and reflect on the 12 years I had from the fourth tier of Swedish football or the ninth tier in English football to the last eight of the Champions League. That journey doesn't come for free. It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of work. I spent some time in education, around football education courses, but more just sitting in and observing and being around football people in that way.
Did you listen to much Taylor Swift?
Yes, allegedly I did. Yeah, no, I did. I got into Taylor Swift. I went to the Eras tour twice actually.
Wow.
Managed to go, yeah. It was an amazing show to see her live and see what the atmosphere in the place was. Yeah, it was incredible.
You probably never thought you were going to be a Taylor Swift fan at the Eras tour twice.
No, exactly. When I was, a young man, I was at Oasis at Main Road, and I've moved from there to Taylor Swift at Wembley. So that just shows you what life does sometimes.
Okay, let's go and sit down because I'm intrigued to find out a little bit more about this journey. It's not the first time that you've had time kind of away from football. You did it earlier in your career, didn't you? When you finished playing, you did your masters and then you coached some of the players there. What did that do, taking yourself out of even then the football bubble?
Well, I think it started me on a decent coaching journey. I needed to learn how to coach. I needed to feel comfortable in an uncomfortable situation because the coaching didn't come natural to me. I think I had to learn it. I had to be out there on the grass in front of people, speaking in front of people. I think footballers, we do football because it comes naturally easy to us. And then to do something, another skill, I think it's something you have to practice and practice in the right environment so you can make mistakes and you can learn and you can safely go and progress.
I also heard you say something about the fact it gave you a little bit of perspective in terms of football at times. There's a bit of a fear of failure and a bit of a blame game at times, and maybe you realise through working with different people from a different walk of life that maybe it's not always the best thing in football.
I think there's a fine line between, you want people responsible, you want people accountable, you want to demand, you need high standards, you need to push performance. But I think if it tips towards fear and blame and everyone's in survival mode and they're worried about making a mistake and they're worried about an error, then they're not free to be themselves. And I think from an environment perspective, from a coaching perspective, it's something that I thought that's important to me.
What sort of environment and culture are you trying to create here at West Ham?
Well, one that is responsible and accountable. It sounds easy, but I think the foundation is, okay, how do we act every day? How do we be as a team? What does our behaviour look like every day at training? The team has to look a certain way. We want the team to attack well, we want the team to defend well, and that clarity means that people within the team understand what their individual role is. And then from that you can make demands, from that you can make people accountable, and you can help people take responsibility for the to what they do in the performance.
It's felt like even from the your first game where you took over on the Thursday, had a game on Friday, even from then, you could kind of see your imprint on this West Ham team. How easy has it been to get your messages across to these players at such a busy time of the season?
Credit goes to the players. I think they were open and honest from the start. They've tried their best every day. Everything we've asked them to do, they've tried to do it. They've not been perfect, of course, but the intention has been really good. I think you're right. The games, when it comes so thick and fast, it's, you're trying to learn, and every session and every game is more information. It's more, you have a picture of them from the outside, and you have a picture from, okay, what can you do, until you get under the bonnet, so to speak. And that's what's been valuable, the every day and every training session and every game. But it's still the Premier League, and it's unrelenting, and it's demanding. So you have to strike that balance between, okay, how can we keep improving? How can we understand that we're quite some way from where we want to be, and to not be too hard on ourselves, to understand where we're at and on the journey. It's not some magic gimmick. It's not some clever culture program or anything like that. It's time. It's the more you understand each other, the more good and bad situations you go through together, you build sort of a trust, you build an understanding of each other. The response from the players has been really, really good, and our supporters have been fantastic with us as well, I must say, and that obviously helps.
How much time do you think it will take you to get West Ham into Graham Potter's West Ham that you want to see and where you want to be?
I could have an idea of where I want the team to be, but the reality could be somewhere different, and it's about how you step by step get to that point with the players you have. And then it's about, okay, in every window you want to try and add, you want to try and help the team grow and find the best players that can fit how you want to go going forward. And then it's results are the best way to get people on board, the best way to build confidence, the best way to get everything moving in the right way is in theory, is right, winning games. But sometimes you need some tough times. You need some bad moments just to understand about each other, to build that relationship, to build that trust. I think it's really important.
Just 2 years ago, West Ham won a European Cup. Can these fans be excited again to watch their team under you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's going to take a lot of work. One of the reasons why I came to this club was the ambition is clear. And I think the support's there, the infrastructure's there, everything's in place. We just need to get it, all aligned, go in the same direction. And I think if we do that, this club's a really, really big club. It's a massive club. Ambition is there for sure. Like I said, we need to know where we are now and go, okay, how do we step by step and build towards being back in those places? But I'm excited.